So first, for number 16, take a look at the multiple choices. This kind of gives us a hint that this is the type of problem we're going to have to solve by quadratic formula, because we know quadratic formula often gives us answers that look like this. So before we do that, though, we notice also that we have these rational expressions, and it's not a fraction equal to a fraction, or it's not just one fraction on both sides. So we can't do this by cross multiplication. We have to use the LCD method. And remember, the LCD here, if we think of this x squared as just x times x, well, let's find everything. There's no denominator here. I need an x from that first one. But the other one has two x's, so I'm going to need both of those. And so our denominator, our LCD, is just x squared. So let's multiply each thing by the missing factors. So the 1 is missing both because it has no denominator at all. So I'll multiply the numerator by x squared. And the denominator, when I get the x squared, I get my least common denominator. The next one, I have an x in the denominator already. It's missing a second x, so let's multiply both the numerator and denominator by x also. So on the top I get 2x, and the bottom I get x times x, which is x squared, or my LCD. And lastly, we see the denominator here is already x squared, so we can keep it. So we have the minus 8 over our LCD, which now we can just cancel out the common denominators. And we see that I have to solve as x squared plus 2x equals negative 8, which again is a quadratic. And you can try factoring this as much as you can, but again, looking at the multiple choices, it's probably not factorable. So what we're going to do is solve by quadratic formula. And I need to do this first by adding 8 to both sides so that I can move this to the left side. And I get x squared plus 2x plus 8 is equal to 0. And now we have our a, b, and c to be able to use the quadratic formula. So we should have this memorized by now. Opposite b over 2a, the vertex formula. But on top, we're going to put b squared, not negative b again. It's b squared minus 4 times a times c. So plugging all those numbers in, let's see what we get. So opposite b over 2a is going to be negative 2 over 2 times 1, which is 2 times 1 is 2. Then on top, I still have b squared, which is 4. 2 times 2 is 4. Minus 4 times 1 times 8. And this is going to give us, simplifying that inside, negative 2 plus or minus, see, 4 minus 32 over 2. Continuing here. 4 minus 32 is negative 28. And now automatically we know the answer has to be imaginary because we're taking the square root of a negative. So you can cancel out c, you can cancel out a because those are missing the imaginary unit I. So what else can we do here? We know that 28, I'll just do this in a different color here. 28 can be factored to 4 and 7. And we know the square root of 4. It's 2 and 2. So that double 2 is going to go on the outside. The I is going to be on the outside. And a 7 is left on the inside. So rewriting that's going to give us negative 2 plus or minus, we pull out that double 2, pull out the I, and leave the root 7. And now, to get our final answer, all we do is divide both terms by 2. So negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. And 2 over 2i root 7 divided by 2, those 2's cancel out and we get just the I root 7, which is negative 1 plus or minus I root 7, negative 1, that's this one right here.